What is going on, YouTube? This is Lamont at Large. I'm coming to you from Mesquite, Nevada. I am on Babbling Brook Court in Mesquite, Nevada. And if you look to the house directly in front of you with those two cars parked in there, that is a house where Stephen Paddock lived. This was his second home out here. He had another home in the Las Vegas area. He is the October 1 shooter. He's the man that killed 58 people when he broke out the windows in the Mandalay Bay and massacred 58 people. So just wanted to show you his house real quick and then take a drive through the neighborhood, because this is a very, very quiet neighborhood and I'm very, very suspect here. So don't want to sit around too long. Don't want the police call on me. Just want to show you the house where he lived really quickly, in the neighborhood where he lived. Still the number one worst mass shooting in United States history. A very, very difficult video, if I do say so myself in watching. I still have trouble watching that horrible, horrible video. And I remember that day like no other. I was living in Dallas at the time, and my buddy called me and said, "Hey man, did you hear about a shooting that happened in Las Vegas?" I said, "I have no idea." And I woke up and I put my phone on, and you know, the tally of the number of bodies started rising. And when it was all over, 58 people died. He took his own life in the room in the Mandalay Bay. And my first thought when I heard about the shooting was my ex-girlfriend, because she was a pretty big country music fan. And I immediately got very, very nervous, because she's not the type to really go out to concerts or what have you. So I turned on the news and I was, you know, they were saying the victims' names, and I was Googling her name, and I was like really, really nervous. Thank God it wasn't her, of course. And I was watching the news. I was watching Fox News, and of course, you know, and I do watch CNN. I do watch other news organizations that have a difference of opinion, and they were trying to get a sense of why he did this. A lot of pundits on the mainstream media websites and television programs were going off about, oh, he must be a Trump guy, a right-wing guy. Of course, jumping to conclusions, which is, you know, oftentimes all news organizations do. And come to find out, he was not a Trump guy, but he was actually a registered Democrat. He was a campaign donor to the Hillary Clinton 2016 campaign. Which goes to show you everybody jumping to conclusion. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to politicize a senseless tragedy, but just talking about the crazy divide that is happening in our country when it comes to politics. So eventually that house was cleared out and was sold. That house sold about, I want to say about a year or so after the shooting, and it was appraised for about a little over $390,000, and eventually it got sold for $425,000. I'm not sure who bought the house, but the proceeds from the sale was divided up between more than 500 people, you know, the victims of the shooting. And to this day, nothing is known about what he did, why he did it. Nobody's talking. When they did the autopsy on him, they dissected his brain. They were looking for any kind of CTE or any kind of trauma, any kind of abnormalities in his brain. You know, people even were suspecting that maybe he was the ISIS, you know, terror cell. And at the end of the day, we'll never know why he did such a horrible thing. And I feel bad for all those victims, and I feel bad for his family too, because his brother was dumbfounded when all the people were going to his house or what have you. So as we take off out of Mesquite, Nevada, I'm heading east right now. Mesquite is a retirement community. It's about 90 miles northeast on the 15 away from Las Vegas. It's a very, very nice city. I want to say, I believe it's 85% of the population here are retirees. It's a very nice city, and it's very sad that a man that did such a horrible, dastardly thing, put this community on the map because of that. And it always makes me think, and I know I go to these, these weird locations, and I do like kind of showing past the newspapers, past the TV pundits, past the online articles, kind of show you a normal house that he lived in. And there, the FBI, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, did extensive work in interviewing people, interviewing his girlfriend, his family, and I think it's just going to be one of those mysteries that never gets solved. There was no rhyme or reason for whatever he committed. There's a lot of unanswered questions. The kind of gun that he used to commit the murder, if you listen to the video of the rate of fire of the gun, almost sounds like it is a full auto machine gun. And those, very, very difficult to get your hands on a full auto machine gun. It was said online that he used a thing called the bump stock. And we're gonna have this crazy gun debate at the end of the day that there is no right or wrong answer for. And people are calling for the ban of bump stocks, which you can ban the bump stock, but you can easily make your own. You can modify your own. You can use a belt. It's at the end of the day, I believe in this country. There's a lot of guns, and I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it up for you guys to decide what is right or what is wrong. And his body was released to his family. He was cremated, and that was it. He has no grave sites. I don't think anybody would want to keep such a notorious figure on their business, in their cemetery. So who knows? Who knows why he did that? I think it's just, there's many theories about why he did something like that. He was in some kind of debt. He did have some kind of money problems. And who knows? It wasn't at the end of the day, it was not a religious ideology. It was not a political ideology. It was just a lunatic with a bad brain, and unfortunately the money to acquire semi-automatic rifles. And my condolences to anybody who was injured or who died, who lost family members because of that vicious, horrible attack. All right, guys, Lamont at large, coming to you from Mesquite, Nevada, heading east. I'll catch up with you on the next video. God bless. Peace out.